All right, folks, Motorman here, and this is another new 2020. Can you tell what it is? I'm gonna let you know in just a second. All right, well, there it is without the cover on it. Now, can you tell which model it is? Take a close look. All right, I'll let you in on it. This is a 2020 Police Electroglide FLHTP, as they call it in Harley speak. And I have taken, first thing I do is take off the police seat. A lot of people ask why. It is a very comfortable seat, but it sits up about 6 inches above the frame, and it makes it very difficult to back up the motorcycle for me, and impossible for my wife to even reach the kickstand. So I put on, this is a solo seat from Electroglide Standard. And I have taken the police rack. It comes also with a rack on the back to mount a tour pack, but I wanted a quick release style rack on there, which I already have a tour pack for it because I kept it from the 2014 bike that I had, and they still fit on there. And I've taken off, of course, the red and blue lights. Can't have that out on the street. The best thing about the FLHTP or Electroglide police bike, right there you get the 114 motor, standard equipment. In addition, you get heated grips, RDRS, that's the reflex rider system, in other words, cornering ABS. You get two modes, the regular and the rain mode on it. And I'll tell you a little story about this right now. I guess they overproduced some of these police bikes, so they sent a bunch of them out, all in black as far as I know, to dealers all over the country. And generally, as a civilian, if a dealer has this in stock, if you're not a police agency, they can't sell it to you for at least 90 days, sometimes 6 months, depending on what ruling they have. But right now, anybody could buy one. They don't have to wait the 90 days. But if you get one of these for 20 grand out the door, you're getting a hell of a deal. Next, we'll take it for a little ride. So people say to me, why do you like these bikes so much? Come on, look at this. This is a beautiful motorcycle. It especially looks just terrific in black. And yes, I like the blue ones that I have. I wanted a special color. I got them. But nothing looks as good as black, especially when it's clean and brand new. So I'm going to talk about a couple of some of the changes that I made as soon as I got the bike home. First thing I did was take off the giant windshield that comes with the police bikes. Windshield with the police bikes are, I guess if you're 6'2" and you're sitting up on the police seat, which sits about 6 inches above the frame, they're fine. But for me, even though I identify as a 6'2" person, I'm 5'7", and I have a low seat on the bike, so I have to be looking through that windshield. And that's okay, except at night, but I'd rather look just over it. So the windshield I have on this bike is from freedomshields.net, and this is a 5-inch windshield. It's their standard shield. In other words, it's not like the touring shield, which I'll show you. The touring shields go much further out and block more wind, but right now I hear that everybody's having a heat spell, but for 6 months of the year in Florida we have a heat spell. Right now it's about 93 degrees even with the sun out, and the humidity is off the charts. I mean, you just walk outside in 30 seconds, you're just standing there even in the shade and you're sweating. So I put on the 5-inch shield on this, took off the police shield. And by the way, I also changed the mirrors, because the police mirrors give you an actual view behind you. They have very long stems on them. I really don't like them. I like the view of these type mirrors. And of course I had to take off the red and blue lights. Can't have those on the road. And a lot of times if you find these bikes at dealerships, which you should be able to do quite easily right now, as I said, I think they overproduced them. I say that because almost every dealer's got at least one, and up at Gator Harley Davidson they had 5 of these, well, 4 Electroglides and a Road King police bike. And the dealers, it's a buyer's market right now, so this is the time to get one. But anyway, when you find them in the dealers, they usually take off the police seats and the police equipment to convert it for civilian use. And of course, when they do that, you're going to have to pay more money, because it does cost money to do that. I like the bikes just as they came out of the factory, and I like to do the work myself. And again, one of the great things about the 2020 Electroglide police bikes is they come, of course, with the 114 motor. They've got heated grips, which I won't need until about January. And they come with the RDRS, which is just the fancy anagram for traction control, cornering ABS. You've got a rain mode. It's just a great system. $995 extra on all the other Harleys except for the CVOs, but comes standard on the police bike. And I haven't had occasion to use it, but the point of it is, if you get into a curve and you're coming around a turn, maybe it's a blind curve, and you need to stop quickly, you just jam down on those brakes, and that system will prevent the bike from low siding. Also, if you hit a little bit of sand and you give it a little too much throttle while the handlebars are turned, it prevents the tire from slipping and spinning out, again preventing a low side. So it is an excellent system. And even if I was buying a regular Electroglide or Road King, I'd want that as an option. I would pay the extra money for it. If you use it just once, it's going to pay for itself. So I was up at Gator Harley Davidson, and they happened to have, like I said, 5 of these, and I saw one on the floor. They had already converted for civilian use, but the manager told me, well, we still got one. We haven't, we just took out of the crate, haven't done anything to it, and that's the one I bought. I got a great deal on it. If you're in the market, you're in the area of, even if you're not in the area, they will ship motorcycles. Gator Harley Davidson, Warren Hill is the manager. Tell him I sent you, and he'll hook you up with one of these police bikes. But the M8 motor on this bike, especially the 114, got all kinds of power and torque. And it's very smooth motor. I've got, by the way, 40 pounds of air front and rear. That's what I like to keep in it, because it makes it so much easier to turn the handlebars at low speeds. Anytime you got less than 40 pounds of air in these touring bikes, when you turn the handlebars more than halfway, it feels like it wants to pull the full lock, and that's not a good feeling. And especially for riders learning the techniques I teach, you don't want that to happen. So just put 40 pounds of air in the tires, and you're good to go. But these bikes, these new Harleys, they handle beautifully. Got all kinds of power, smooth as could be, and the riding position, it just fits me perfectly. On the police bikes, you have a little bit taller handlebars, and that allows you to adjust them. In fact, that was the second thing I did. There's a couple of bolts on the side here. You take one off on each side, you're able to get this plastic piece down, and you can get a long Allen wrench with a T-handle in there, loosen 2 of the bolts, and adjust the bars up or down. I pulled them down about probably 1.5 inches or 2 inches, which again, I like to have a lot of leverage, and it puts me in the absolute perfect riding position. And of course, I ordered a soft brake clutch lever. I've told you about those. That's this company Soft Brake. They take the standard Harley lever, heats it up slightly and bends it very slightly. You can't even notice it by looking at it or even comparing it side to side. But what that does is it allows the clutch to grab much closer to the grip. With this bike, and as many Harley Davidsons, with the hydraulic clutch, the friction zone is too far out. It makes it so much easier to use the friction zone if that friction zone grabs closer, and that's exactly what the Soft Brake clutch lever does. And I mean, that takes you 2 minutes. It's just a little snap washer you take off, pull the old one out, put the new one in, send the old one back to the guy. And I think when you do that, it's an exchange. It's like 45 bucks. And you could also get black ones and chrome ones. He's got both of them. They're a little bit more money, but I tell people about that, especially in my class, because a lot of them are complaining that the clutch grabs too far out, and it makes it more difficult to manipulate the clutch and throttle. So for that kind of money, 50 bucks or so, yeah, that's one of the first changes I make. Other than that, this bike, it's ready to go. But if you're looking for a great buy at Harley Bagger, and this might be your last chance to just walk into a dealership and get a Harley Davidson police bike, no waiting, make the best deal you can, and you're good to go. Hop on the bike, throw some stuff in there, and head across the country. So I hope you enjoyed this little video I made for you. Don't forget to subscribe. I hope you give me a thumbs up, and I'll come up with something this week, maybe 1 or 2 more videos for you. Till next time.